Y'all, welcome back to All Things Jenny. I'm Jenny. So there's something strange going on with the whole PPP loan situation because people are like real life going to jail. And I'm so glad when I told my mom not to take
Story time about how I went to prison for getting a goddamn PPP loan. Okay, so I'm just gonna start from the beginning when I got indicted. It was March 15th, 2023. Me and my husband had just left from going out to eat because my son recently had like a kidney surgery or whatever, and we had been in the house. We've kind of been stressing and whatever. We sitting in the car chilling, and a car pull up, and my husband like, who the fuck this is pulling up in my yard? I'm like, I don't know. Shit, you know how they be tripping. You know them young niggas be paranoid. I look at my husband, he look at me. Shit just started getting weird. Okay, then after that, they come to my door and they give me a piece of paper. They say, oh, you just got a PPP loan. You just gonna have to pay it back. I opened up the goddamn envelope and it say, Samari and Kingston versus the United States of America. I could have lost my motherfucking mind. Mind you, I have a real business. I'm a hairstylist, so all I do is go to work and go to fuck home. So I'm like, what the fuck? That was literally like the worst day of my fucking life because I was so scared and I didn't know what to do. And then me, like, I always try to do the right thing and, like, you know, not get into any trouble, and I got in fucking trouble. And every fucking body did it, so I'm like, why the fuck I'm getting in trouble? You know, like, that shit had really pissed me off. So I ended up going to court and finding out that it's a whole fucking conspiracy case with 23 other people that I don't even fuck with. I was scared as fucking court, didn't know what the fuck was going to happen, but I ended up getting a little bun, so I was able to go home. Story time about how I went to prison pregnant for getting a PPP loan. So I think y'all kind of got it confused. When I said that I bunned it out, I was saying that I got an OR bun. If you don't know what an OR bun is, it is something that they give you when you don't have a criminal history. When I went to court, they told me that I was being charged with wire fraud and conspiracy to commit wire fraud. They ended up dropping the wire fraud and charging me with only the conspiracy. Whole time, I'm not knowing that the conspiracy was worse than the wire fraud charge. So let me break down this conspiracy theory. Okay, so let's get into this conspiracy theory. They basically were saying that I helped gang members fund their illegal activities, which is not true. So if you know me, you know that I'm a popular hairstylist where I'm from, and like everybody know me. So it's basically like I'm walking promotion. I ended up, you know, referring somebody to get their loan done by the same person who did my loan. They had the messages of me telling him to send me his information so that I can send to her, and that is where the conspiracy came from. Plot twist. Even though the loans were forgiven, I honestly don't think that they really gave a fuck about the loan. They just wanted to get the gang members, and I ended up being tossed in the middle. 24 of us that was indicted on this case. They basically put us all on the same conspiracy case. Y'all, I'm looking at this shit like, I don't talk to him, I don't talk to her, I don't talk to them. Like, the shit was just thrown the fuck together. Like, it was just so stupid because I didn't even talk to none of these people or conspire with none of these people. The only thing I did was just refer somebody to get a fucking loan. And I still got tossed in the middle of it. Like, I was working with all these people to conspire to get loans. Like, that's not what happened at all. Y'all, I'm about to do part two, but I gotta answer a couple questions first, and then I'm gonna have to take this shit all the way back because I feel like it's the other stuff that I feel like y'all should know. And you really think that I'm finna sit up here and act like I went to fucking jail? Like, that don't even make sense. Like, be for real. I don't even split poles, let alone get my feet swept. I don't play about no going no jail. This Part 3, story time about how I went to prison pregnant for getting a PPP loan. Okay, y'all, so I got a lot of questions that I see you guys had asked me. One of the questions was how much I got, how much time did I do in prison, and you know, all of that. So I want to get into that. So I was on pretrial a whole year before I was sentenced to go to federal prison. I got indicted March 15th, 2023. I was sentenced April 21st, 2024. In between that time, My lawyer was telling me that I was only facing 0 to 6 months because of my criminal history was low. And if you know the feds, they base your sentencing off of a sentencing guidelines chart. So I ended up getting my PSR. If you don't know what a PSR is, it's a pre-sentencing report. Remember when I told y'all that my lawyer told me that I was only facing 0 to 6 months? Okay, y'all. So we get the pre-sentencing report, and it has all these enhancements on there. I was only supposed to pay back $40,000, which is what the prosecution asked for. And these people had me having to pay back $100,000. So that boosted my amount up. So if you get more than $70,000, you will get an enhancement of 8 points. They didn't let me get my 3-point reduction. Let me break down the $100,000. Okay, I had to pay back my loan. I had to pay back the person's loan who was indicted with me. And I had to pay back 3 other people's loans who I referred as well. But they were not indicted on this case. They never went to court. They never did anything. The prosecution didn't even want me to pay back these loans. That's just how dirty the judge was, y'all. The judge made me pay back people's loans all because I was texting these people and they just wanted me to go to prison, y'all. And the reason why I feel like they really wanted me to go to prison is because one day I was at home and my lawyer had gave me a call. He was like, I need to talk to you. So he was like, that the prosecution wanted to talk to me. And I'm like, what do they want to talk to me about? Like, yeah, he was like telling me that they wanted to talk to me because they was listening to somebody phone calls and they heard them saying they was going to do this and that to me and was asking me did I want to get in witness protection. Mind you, I'm not worried about that. Like, I'm not worried about these people. I'm more worried about the feds than I'm worried about these motherfuckers on this case. I'm not worried about these people on this case. I'm worried about y'all because y'all got my life in y'all hands. I'm worried about going to prison. But at the same time, I don't want to talk to y'all either because y'all bullshit as fuck. Like, y'all in real life trying to get me on some shit that y'all know for a fact I did not do. Besides that, I never even got the money, or the dude never even got his money. Well, that's what he told me. He told me that he didn't get the PPP loan. So I'm thinking that he didn't even get the PPP loan. Come to find out, this motherfucker did get the PPP loan, y'all. He got the PPP loan, but told me that he didn't get it. So I'm getting in trouble for some shit that I didn't even gain any benefit off of. For real, like. A whole year later, I found out that I would be facing 24 to 30 months. Y'all, my lawyer was telling me for a whole year that I was only going to get probation, and I was asking him, like, what steps do I need to take? Like, what do I need to prepare myself for? He was like, well, it's fine. You don't have to really change anything. I'm going to make sure you get probation and all this. But they ended up giving me all these enhancements, saying that I was a leader, and I orchestrated all of this stuff, and they gave me enhancements, and I ended up being 25 points on the sentencing guidelines. So with 25 points, I was facing 24 to 30 months of federal time. I had so many letters. I had so much support from my community. Everybody was writing letters for me. People was really, really like there to support me through these. And that didn't matter when I went to court. The judge didn't even read any of my letters. So, like, probably 2 days before I went to court, I ended up taking a pregnancy test. And the pregnancy test results came back, you guys, I was pregnant. So I ended up going to court. I let her know that I was pregnant. She didn't care. She was like, why did you get pregnant? She asked me, why did I get married? She didn't really care. She kind of didn't have any sympathy for me because I was pregnant. So after that, she ended up sentencing me to 24 months in federal prison. I had to turn myself in 2 months after my sentencing date of April 21st. I ended up turning myself in July 21st of 2024.
and I went to prison. I was almost 3 months pregnant when I went. And it's a lot of people saying, oh, you should never did the loan, oh, this, and that. Let me tell y'all something. I was young. I didn't really, think about the consequences of my actions. I didn't really have much to lose at the time. But let's fast forward 4 years later. I had my whole life established. My business was very successful. Everything was going exactly how I wanted to go. My clientele was through the roof. I was living the life that I always wanted to live. And y'all, when I tell you things happen at a time where you are doing great, like I feel like I was doing so good. My son had just had his kidney surgery. He had inflammation on both of his kidneys, which made his stomach really big. So when my son turned 1, we ended up getting the surgery done on his right and left kidney. For the ones who are like, or whatever, because I really didn't want to get into that. I'm not the type of person who, wants sympathy from anybody, because that's not what I came here to do. I came here just to shed light on the situation. I'll probably help some people who could be going through the same thing that I have went through. But yes, my business was doing so good, y'all. I'm talking about my content was going crazy. Like everything was going good. I was looking for places to live because I was going to relocate to Houston. And in a matter of all of that, y'all, I got indicted. And then I felt like that was literally the worst thing that could have happened to me. But it changed me for the better. It made me and my support system so much stronger. We still work every day to be back how we was, or even better. But I don't regret it. I don't regret getting a PPP loan. I don't regret going through what I went through because I learned a lot. I met a lot of great people. The only thing that I regret and wish that I could take back is the time that I spent away from my husband and kids. But everything happened for a reason, and I'm going to make up for that time every day now that I'm back in their lives. And for the ones who were like, are you going to go back to jail? That wasn't even supposed to be a part of the plan. But I trust God, and I have faith in Him, and I know that I'm going to get through this. So, yeah. Thank you for listening to my story. And if you have any questions, or if you're a lady that's going through the same thing, and another thing, don't refer people, because these people be like, hey, can you do this for me? Because they see you got a lot of people that know you, or they see that you got like this influence. Do not refer people for anyone else, because you will be the fall guy for it, because you are the person that is initially making the contact, so you will go down for it. And also, just be careful of who you allow in your circle. Don't associate yourself with people, because some of the things that they do will come back on you, and it can come back on you, and I'm a witness of that. So, just be great, be you, and don't care what people say, because people gonna say they're gonna talk regardless. So I don't care. And for the people who saying that I was lying about going to jail, or the people who said evil or negative things towards me, I really, really don't give a fuck, because I already stood up before the man above, and he forgave me. And guess what? He brought me through this. I only did 2 months of federal prison, 6 months in the Mint program, and 4 months in the halfway house. So let me tell you something. God is always by my side.
Yes, I definitely need to do a story time, because it's still mind blowing on how I actually went to jail for getting a freaking PPP loan.
That PPP loan came back to bite me in the ass, y'all. These folks want me to pay them so much money, and to think that I thought I was actually doing something right. You know how you be out here and you be trying to figure out You know what your next move gonna be and how you gonna make it happen. And then when something like that comes along, it kind of puts you in a trance like, damn, this is actually something that I could actually get. Now keep in mind, I do have a business, you know, and I guess the person who did my paperwork kind of screwed up. And man, I'm put in a position where I either have to pay a lot of money or I could be going away for a while. And I never wanted that to be the case, you know. Man, that PPP loan was something, man. It was like a breakthrough for you, you know, when you were struggling and not knowing the outcome. So anybody who think that they got away with that shit, you didn't get away, man. We make terrible decisions, man, when the storm come. So when the sun come back out, we screwed, man. Y'all share this post. Follow me for updates.
My coworker got fired for getting the PPP loan. The reason why I'm bringing this up is because I saw a girl's video saying that she just had her case with the feds regarding getting the PPP loan, like lying on the application, and she got sentenced to 9.5 years. 9.5 years. And I saw other people in the comments saying that they're going through their case. I saw somebody else say that they got sentenced for wire fraud. And these people are not playing. They are not playing, and banks are assisting. They are assisting in the process. As somebody who works in banking, who's worked in multiple different banks, the banks help the IRS. But let me tell y'all what happened with my coworker. So this is my coworker that turned into a friend. So I had already left the company by the time that she got fired. But ultimately what happened was, this is 2022. The list came out of everybody who had got the PPP loan. She obviously was on that list. And she ended up in HR. Clearly the bank was looking at the list. Not my current job, y'all. Again, this is a company that I left. So don't call them people again, please. But she ended up in a meeting with HR. They asked her, like, oh, you were on this list, you have a business. And basically, there was a date that your business had to be established to qualify for the PPP loan. And a lot of people created LLCs after that date. And that's how they know if your application was fraudulent. And so they told her, like, I don't think that you qualified for this PPP loan based on when you established your business or whatever. But she didn't admit to anything. And her business was selling handmade jewelry, right? So the reason why they were able to fire her is because if you've ever worked for a bank, a financial institution, a brokerage, you have to disclose all outside business activities. It's regulatory. You have to sign off that you will disclose anything, any second job, any second source of income. If you're a part of the board of directors for any type of company, nonprofit, sometimes even volunteer work, you have to disclose it so that the bank can make sure it's not a conflict of interest. So basically they fired her because they said that her not disclosing that she had a business was violating company policy, because she should have told them. And I'm sure y'all are going to say, well, she should have told them that, she stopped the business when she started working. I guess whenever she established it, she had already started working there. So like the days just didn't line up. But yeah, they fired her and said that it was because she didn't disclose that she had a business. But if she had disclosed that she had a business, it wouldn't have been a conflict of interest for her to sell handmade jewelry. They fired her because of that PPP loan. And that was just their excuse. So be careful, y'all. They are coming.
So I forgot to mention, if you got a PPP loan back when they was just handing them out, like I don't even know what they was handing them out. But if you received a PPP loan, they have on the tax software this year that I noticed that, and they had it last year actually, but they have it on there that you have to report that amount that you received, the amount that was forgiven, as well as the reduction of the amount that was on your business that you had. If you have not reported that, I'm sure you guys have seen the video about the PPP loans and the website, and if your name and your business was on it and the amount that you received, that's real. So in order for you to get that PPP loan, you would have had to fill out a 1040. And in order for you to fill out that 1040, you had to fill it out as either Schedule C or a sole proprietor. If you filled it out for either of those, then you indicated that you had an actual business. So as a bookkeeper, as an accounting clerk, if you do not have the bookkeeping documents, accounting documents right now, they are going through and searching for those individuals who actually had a legitimate business, whether it was sole proprietor or Schedule C now, or LLC. Now here's another thing: the BOI filing. You have to actually go and file your business because of the PPP loans and because of everything that happened during that time frame. If you do not, you will be fined $500 per day. If you are fined $500 per day because this business existed and it is not registered, then you can also face up to 2 years jail time. So for those of you who received those loans, those of you who filed your taxes, there is a tax transcript that is in the IRS system. And in this system, we can see transcripts. I can pull transcripts from 1999. I can see everything. I can see civil, I see everything. So if I see it, the IRS has it documented, what do you think that they're going to start doing, or what do you think they're currently doing? If you are needing help getting those tax documents corrected and amended, because you're going to need to have it amended, hit your girl up. I got you. Yeah, I can fix it, but it's going to come with a price. No, I'm not doing anything fraudulent, but if you do not have a legitimate business, I will not help. I will not fix it. However, if you do have a legitimate business, if you can show and prove me your EIN number, your actual business documents, anything that was in reference to the business, and of course for that PPP loan, I can help out with the tax documentation. However, if you do not, yes, it's not looking good for you. But if you're needing your business registered with the BOI filing system, I can help with that as well. Just send me a message and I can get you scheduled and we can see how we can get everything fixed and you out of the line of fire. Yeah, I forgot to mention that. So y'all have a good day.
The PPP warrant list is real. They have a real page with my fucking name on it. $37,000. Not only $37,000, but also because I used my child's father's name to open up a bank account to get $18,000.
Oh, I'm tired. You know, I've been thinking about starting back getting into like fitness on social media. What do y'all want to see, man? What do y'all want to see? Meal prep shit, workout shit, or just general fitness. I kind of want to get into like running. But then again, my knees won't support that. I'm in my content bag lately, man. I really am. Y'all come fuck with the stream. I'll be streaming between 3 and 5. You know what I'm saying? Every day right here on TikTok. First we start with a little Fortnite. Then we end with the balloon pop. They love the balloon pop. I be on Fortnite, it be 20, 30 people watching. I turn the balloon pop shit on. There'd be 100 folk in there cracking up. Don't get me wrong, this shit be funny. But damn, y'all love that low vibrational content. Me too. Yeah, give me some fitness suggestions, bro.
Okay, y'all. So yeah, y'all read the caption right. This is my testimony about the PPP loan, y'all. I'm gonna try to make it short and sweet because I only got 10 minutes. It would have been long, but I've been waiting to do this testimony and the Lord gave me the go, so we here, y'all. Okay, so of course, PPP loan happened 2021. Boom, yep, feel convicted. Still did it. I guess I didn't feel bad enough. Note that I wasn't in Christ yet, so I guess the conviction wasn't enough, clearly. I still did it. But clearly it was also for purpose. Besides the point. Fast forward. I'm in Christ. Came to Christ 2022. Yeah, 2022 came to Christ. New creature. Right? Living a whole different life now. Not like I was just out there just doing fraud. Like, that, you know, that's not my character. That's not me. I was just doing some lying to myself. Knowing it went right. Just out there. Doing stuff. Knowing it went right. But back to the story. So, fast forward, sometime around fall 2024, I'm 2 years in Christ, on fire for God. You know, deeper in my walk, right? I'm in a room, I'm writing spiritual warfare scriptures down, right? I'm worshiping. I'm in the zone, bruh. Then it's a knock at the door. It's a detective. Now, what's she at my house for? What?
she came because someone put some phones in my mom's name. And my mom trying to figure out why she get a bill from a phone company that she don't have. So, of course, she had to write a report. And I'm assuming they thinking, since I don't did a PPP, your girl into the fraud stuff. But I'm not. I'm not. I was just a good girl doing bad things. But everybody make mistakes. But it's alright because I'm a new creature. Yeah, thanks to my Lord. Yeah, focus. Right, so she came there to ask about my mom's phones or whatever. But, of course, when she heard my name, they took that as an opportunity to start questioning me. When I tell you I was caught off guard, I'm in there writing spiritual welfare scriptures down. I ain't know the welfare was going to be knocking at my door in a few seconds, bro. Like, soon as she asked about it, bro, my whole facial expression switched up because she pissed me off. She pissed me off because don't do this. I'm growing in Christ. You know, I'm getting close to the Lord, and you want to come knock on my door about a PPP loan that happened in 2021? Like, come on now. I'm forgiven. Like, don't do this to me. You feel me? Woo! Okay. So, yeah, my face expression got scratched up, and then she asked me questions of that. I have no clue what she is talking about. I'm just gonna be real. I ain't know what this lady was talking about. And then I'm in my head like, oh my goodness, the Lord said thou shalt not lie. But I'm also in my head like, Lord, I gotta lie because I don't want to go to jail. But I'm like, I don't want to disobey my Lord. You feel me? So I was in my head. So I was kind of lying, which makes it a whole lie because you can't kind of lie and say it's half of a lie. It's just a whole lie regardless. So then she said something. I'm just like, nah, could we talk with my lawyer or whatever? Then she was just like, ain't nothing you can say, right? I'm just like, girl, like, get out my face for real. Don't do this to me. Don't do this to me. Not right now. Not right now. Like, y'all. So that happened in fall. Of course, it made my people a little worried. Me, a bit worried. But it's just like, you reap what you sow, bro. Like, I knew what I was doing was wrong, but yet I still did it. I kept lying to myself. Oh, they steal from people. Oh, it's forgiven. Oh, da-da-da-da. It's still wrong regardless, bro. Regardless. Yeah. But eventually, nothing else was said about it, so it was below. Just, of course, prayed about it. Of course, talk with the Lord about it. Specifically repenting about the PPP loan, because I didn't necessarily do that. Of course, I repented of all things, known and unknown, but specifically pointing that out to the Lord, I did, and I talked to him about it. I told him the truth. Did all that right there, right? That was fall, right? Tell me why January 2025, one morning, well, January 29th to be exact, early in the morning, I ain't woke yet. My children ain't woke yet. I ain't even got my children ready for school yet. These people knocking at my door. I ain't hear it. My mama got a Ring camera, so she talking with them. They told her that they were looking for me. She called my phone. She like, Kai, the police at the door. They coming to get you. I'm just like, what you want me to do? Like, what you want me to do? You want me to run? Like, where I'm supposed to go? Jump out the window? I'm caught, bro. Like, I'm wrong. There's nothing I can say that can get me out of this right now. Like, they got a warrant out for my arrest. What can I do, bro? They was chill about it though. They didn't harass me. They weren't mean. It was really sweet. But yeah, they took me in that day. Crazy thing, everybody was nice. Everybody was so nice. And everybody was so confused as to why I was there. It's just like, what? Like, this can't be you, bro. Like, everybody was so confused, like, why I was there. Even I had to go be with the inmates, bro. I was in there eating. I was in there eating with them people, bro. And that was just so nice. That was so nice to me. I was basically in prayer the whole time I was in the room while I was in my bunk. I ain't even gonna cap. I was in prayer the whole time, but they was still walking by, checking on me, making sure I'm good. You feel me? Sweet people. I knew the Lord was with me because my faith was kind of shaking. Because I'm like, dang, I don't know what's gonna happen, man. I got 3 children, bro. They little. They need their mama. So I wasn't sure what was gonna happen, but I knew the Lord had me. but it was scary. It wasn't scary, but it was like, dang, I'm in a situation, you know, and I don't see what's gonna come out on the other side. But I just gotta trust God, bro, because I gotta be with my kids. And man, the Lord got this thing where 144 is the way He speaks to me. So I ain't seen my weight in a long time. So the nurse put me on the scale, and my weight said 144. I'm like, dang, I'm good. My face started to build back up. Like, it stopped shaking as it was. It wasn't as shaking before, as it was before. And I'm just like, the Lord is with me. He here with me. He got me, right? Of course, I'm in there with the people praying, and they start talking about God. That also helped me. It made me feel better. Then when it was about time for me to get called out, I realized they had a Bible in there. So I opened it up, and I'm reading Psalms 35, you know, contend with those who contend with me. Woo! Because the enemy was trying it. He was trying it, but greater is He within me than he that is in the world. But listen, I got out that same day. Fast forward. 2 days later, the Lord give me a dream. This the dream, right? Tell me why I'm in a dream, right? I'm in an office, and I'm going through my case. I'm going through paperwork, like going through my case. And like the more I go through it, it's like I'm getting closer to being free, to realizing what I'm going through. Why I'm going through this? What is the reason? Like I'm about to be free. You feel me? So I'm going through the case, and there was a dude in the room with me, right? And I look up and I look over at him, and he starts smiling at me. And I said, "It's you." Guess who it was, y'all? The spirit of poverty. The spirit of poverty. I jumped up out my sleep. And instantly the Lord gave me a memory that I had when I first seen Prophet Genesis Porter, and she was talking about the PPP loan months and months ago, and she said how those that did the PPP loan, the spirit of poverty will be after you, bruh. And the spirit of poverty may not look what you think it's gonna look like. Many things can come from the spirit of poverty. But I woke up, God gave me that memory, and I instantly went to start warring, bro. When I tell you I look like somebody great-great-grandma in there, I was not playing. I ain't let the spirit of poverty go, baby. Oh, I was rebuking everything in there, because y'all is not gonna do this to me. You know, y'all don't play with me. Don't play with me in the Lord. You feel me? Like, I was rebuking everything. I was casting down everything. Like, And I was so ecstatic and happy that the Lord chose to inform me on what is holding me back. I'm going through this because the spirit of poverty had dominion over my life, and I had to break him off of me in order to be free of this PPP loan thing. Like, I had to break him.
I don't know what side of TikTok y'all are on, but I'm on the side where they're talking about federal sentencing for fraud due to the PPP loans during the pandemic, grants, all type of business loans. And this young lady's story, she was doing this countdown, 30 days, sharing her story, how she ended up in the situation. She ended up getting sentenced to 9.5 years, so almost 10 years. They do it by months, so it's like 120 months is what she got. 114, I think. And I am just on this lady's page watching her story, talking about her really preparing her life to spend almost 10 years behind bars. And she has very, very young children. Like, her youngest child is like 8 months old. And of course, there's a lot of mixed reactions to this. And she has other kids older, but the youngest was 8 months. But as someone whose parents have been locked up for an extended amount of time, there is a toll that is going to take on your kids. Not just you being in the system and away from your children. It's also the children not having their parent and having to trust other people to raise your children. It's just not a good place that you want to be in. And I'm just hopeful that when she gets out, her kids are going to be able to understand and possibly forgive her, because there's a lot that you miss during those moments. And it's so hard as the child to understand why the parent did what they did. She's taking accountability, so it's not like I can rag on her too much. Like, she understood, but I don't know if people don't understand, like, these type of fraud crimes when it comes to money, the government, taxes, these people are not playing. They will come after you. Like, you get away with it for however long, then they're going to be calling. She's explained that, you know, she met this other girl, and the girl basically sold her out, ratted her out. Like, that's just what it is. Everybody's going to save their own ass when it comes to federal time. So it's a very sad situation, but she was talking about she helped over 700 people. I'm like, oh, baby, they had to bring you in. There's no way you are facilitating and helping 700 people get public loans and just think like, all right, you know, whatever. I don't think she thought it was going to be like 10 years, but they just don't give a fuck. And you helped that many people get money, some legit, some not. Like, she's gonna have to sit down and do that time. But I just can't imagine like packing up my life to do time. There was another girl she did end up doing 3 months, but they sentenced her to 24 months. But like, I think I would just break down.
At the end of the day, I don't have to look over my shoulder because of PPP loans and that I took out illegally. Okay? And if you've done that and you haven't been arrested yet, I don't even care whether you get arrested or not. It's just the simple fact that you got to look over your shoulder. And people have been arrested off of that PPP loan stuff already. Okay? Nobody is jealous because the FBI or the IRS or any of these government entities aren't looking into me. Okay? Now, there are reports out there that there's a warrant list. Some people are saying it's fake. Personally, I don't have to worry about it. Like, I don't have to worry. Whether it's real or not, it doesn't matter to me. Every time something like this is going to come up, you people who took PPP loans illegally are going to have to look over your shoulders. That's the point. Okay? We can look at this and laugh. Okay? Some people are saying it's unemployment fraud. I ain't even really looked into the story. The point is that you will always have to look over your shoulder when you did something like this. The Chase glitch, the PPP loans are nothing more than getting desperate individuals locked up. That's what it is. Okay? They could have secured that to make sure that your business has been around for at least 5 years, everything like that, because there's paperwork involved with that. There's a connection, you know what I mean, to your accounts, all that stuff. They could have done a better job. They didn't, because they wanted to get desperate people locked up. And some of y'all fell for it and went to jail. Some of y'all fell for it and you're looking over your shoulder the whole time. Every time you file your taxes, they're going to be looking at you. And they can audit your accounts at any point throughout the year. Okay? It doesn't matter that they forgave it. It does not matter. All right? So that's just my point on it. Y'all have a great day.
Now imagine waking up and finding out that there is a list and your name is on that motherfucker and you might be going to jail for something you did years ago. So if you took that loan out and you weren't sure if you had a warrant out for your arrest, there's a list for you to go find out. You might want to do that. One of the worst things about this, people took this money 4 years ago. So imagine thinking, yes, I got away with stealing money from the government. Well, you didn't. It just took them a while to come after you, but they had all the records for everything that you did. There's paper trail, which pointed out two things to me: how desperate some people were back in those times, and also the lack of common sense to know not to fuck with the government. And what's really sad, I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all spent the money on some bullshit that wasn't even worth it to begin with. And hey, if your name is not on the list, you can also be nosy and see if someone you know, if their name is on the list. I don't exactly know what the consequences are for taking that money, but I'm pretty sure it's not worth it. If you've actually seen that list and searched it, let me know.
So when the whole PPP loan was going around, my mom, I told her about it and she was like, oh my God, you know, this is a great opportunity and da-da-da. But because of what I was seeing in the stories I was hearing from people that were basically getting it without even proof of like having actual business, and they were getting approved, I was like, you know what? Nothing in America is ever free, not even the COVID C-19 vaccine. And I was like, look, I don't think you should go and get this, even though you can prove that you have a business, a very well successful business. But at the end of the day too, I don't think it's wise to get this thing just because, you know, it's being offered. Because I'm like, there's definitely some sort of strings attached, and I'm glad she listened to me and not get this thing, because people are literally going to jail. And I'm sure like she would have been fine, but the way my mom and anyone from the island is so afraid of the cops, I know it would have had to be the one to deal with it and try, you know, to get her out of the situation if something were to happen. So I'm glad that we never got into that situation, because I know she would have enjoyed the money. It would have been good for business. But I was like, you know what, something is not right about this money. They're giving it away too easily to just any and everybody. I know there was some strings attached, and I'm glad, just like I said. So anyways, this lady and her story about going to jail over the PPP loan while she's pregnant, that's crazy. Can you imagine? It's already difficult enough, you know, going through a pregnancy, and then having to do it while you're in jail and being black at the same time, girl. Because even like having a baby at the regular hospital, you're still at risk, you know. And although, yeah, like when she's ready to have the baby, they would have sent her to a hospital, but when you're coming from jail, the attention, the care is just not the same. Because we actually have people that had to go to jail, either got caught before they went to jail and having to come to the hospital because something happened, something or another. You literally have like 3 cops sitting there the whole time with you, and you are under handcuffs the whole time. So imagine giving birth, going through this pain, and sitting in the hospital bed in pain, trying to give birth to your child, and you are in chains, basically locked down. Like, I know they probably would have not have her in handcuffs, but then again, if you're in the hospital, I mean, not like if you're in a hospital coming from jail, you're going straight back to jail when you're done, they definitely would have cops all around, and like, you know, you're under handcuffs the whole time, because you're technically like a prisoner. So yeah, you know, that's just so sad. Not necessarily sad, because people were actually lying. Because I had a friend, I knew someone who basically was doing the PPP loan for people, and they were just throwing any and everything on that paper just so people can get approved. So I'm like, look, that sounded really fishy. And I know so many people who started businesses that never even took off after taking the PPP loan and actually trying to do something with it. But you have people who basically wasted on like a BBL or a trip to Mexico or something, and that they didn't do anything with it, you know. So anyways, y'all, that's my take on this whole PPP loan. I hope you're not at the end of the whole thing, because at the end of the day, it's gonna be tough, especially with what's going on right now with those money hungry people that we have, you know, running the country right now, that's basically robbing the poor to give to the rich. I know they're going to come down on people really hard because of this thing. So anyways, guys, I'm actually getting ready to go on vacation with my mom. It's her birthday. Anyway, so I just wanted to make this video real quick for you guys, because I know you guys will enjoy it. Anyways, talk to you later. Bye. Love you guys.